South Africa has seen quite a rise in cybercrimes in the past 6 years. Experts say that cybercriminals are targeting big companies that can afford to pay large ransoms. Earlier on this month, hackers attacked the Justice Department's computer system, demanding a ransom of 33 million rand, at least according to some of these reports. And a few months ago, Transnet was then targeted, resulting in major problems at the country's ports. So let's speak to cybersecurity expert now. Boland Lithebe from Altron joins us for this important conversation. Mr. Lithebe, thank you for your time and good morning to you. How prevalent are such cybersecurity, crimes in South Africa, specifically targeting big companies as well as government departments?
Thanks, Dumelo. Good morning to you and good morning to ENC viewers. The attacks are very prevalent. The South African, I would say, legal system to a large extent does not force companies to disclose breaches as opposed to organizations in other parts of the world like the United States. Yes, we have seen quite a rise in the number of attacks, and I also think that it's also because of the publicity that goes with this number of attacks. It's twofold, Tremelo. It's one, on the one hand, that there is an increase in the number of attacks, but also the devastation of the attacks, as you have seen with the Department of Justice and Correctional Services, Transnet, and many others that have not publicly disclosed the breach. So they are rising, and both public and private sector companies are suffering the devastation caused by cyber attacks.
Yeah, I think just to understand the devastation of a cybersecurity attack, maybe give us some context here. What is at stake? What usually is a result of such an attack? I mean, in terms of privacy, in terms of data and invasion of companies, confidential information, as well as in the lives of the Department of Justice in this case.
Well, it is devastating. One is the fact that the company's operations are severely disrupted. They cannot continue business as usual. Number two, you have a situation where, as you've mentioned, there is that breach or people steal confidential information and for nefarious purposes, of course. And for companies to be able to recover this, the impact it's huge. For example, we look at the Department of Justice, and it has been reported that the attackers are seeking 33 million rands in Bitcoins. That's a lot of money, yeah. And it does not only end there, tomorrow. The department has got other third parties that are connected to their systems, who are today asking the questions: how safe is this data that we share with the department and other business partners? So the devastation is not only related to the actual incident, but other attached systems as well.
Yeah, and then just on the point you made right now about the ransom, I saw a tweet here dated the 20th of September by the Ministry of Justice saying they would like to place it on record that it has not received any ransom demand following that ransomware attack, obviously amounted to 33 million rand. But with that being said, still, is it common to see hackers and cybersecurity attackers then wanting ransom money in the amount in its millions just to get that information back and to allow these companies to be able to operate, from, of course, their data systems?
Yes, it's very common. The attacks and the reasons why the attackers go for ransomware, it's easy way to make money. There's economic reasons as to why they do it. And the fact that the devastation in most cases pushes these companies to end up opting to pay a ransom. Particularly if they don't have proper systems to recover their data. So it's, whether the department will pay is neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is the data is compromised. And the fact is that the attackers would want some compensation for the, to get that data there.
Well, that would make sense that they would want compensation, obviously, to get that data back to the department. But in this case, I think there are lessons here to be learned, Mr. Lithebe, because prevention is better than cure. That's the famous cliche. What can companies, I mean, even other government departments do to avoid such attacks, do you think? Because I know that the department said that their IT, department is working tirelessly to restore these systems back so they can go back to normal operation. But for this to be prevented in future by many more other companies as well as government departments, what do you think should be done?
I think the solutions to matters should be hinged on principles. And one of the emerging principles around solutions to prevent cyber attacks is zero trust principle, which simply means that an organization must make sure that their data, their sensitive data, is secure wherever that data is. And this means that if I am working from home or I'm working from a coffee shop, that data, the organizational data, stays secure at all times. It moves away from the old principle of trusted networks, where when you get to the office network is trusted. The idea behind zero trust is that organizations and leaders within organizations who look after cybersecurity must always think that there is an attacker on their network and that the insiders within the network are not to be trusted. That's the first and most important principle when organizations think about solutions to prevent these cyber attacks. The other one is defense in depth. This talks about making sure that when an attack happens, your defenses are multi-layered. Like an onion, when you peel an onion, you don't get to the sensitive data easily. The attacker has to go through many layers before they arrive at the sensitive data.
Very sound, very clear. We appreciate you talking to us this morning. Mr. Boland Lithebe from Altron, of course, a cybersecurity expert, just giving a warning of what to do as companies and governments to avoid such cybersecurity attacks.